Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast, and I'm here to present you my MLB picks for Monday, April 9th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my MLB, NBA, NFL videos. If you want to play the actual lineups that I'm playing every single night, visit my website at www.rotobeast.net. So, hey, we got a solid 10-game slate. There's some definite spots that we're going to be looking to attack. Before we jump into these picks, though, please make sure, take a second for me, drop a like below. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. Man, we started MLB on absolute fire. If you want to check out our recent results, go follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at RotoBeast. Check them out for yourself. The proof is in the pudding. I don't want you guys to think I'm sitting here telling you guys about it and it's not really happening. So go check out our results. Hey, don't wait. Just check it out. It takes you 2 seconds. Jump on the money team. Stop missing out. So yeah, like I said, we got a solid 10-game slate. I'm just gonna jump into these picks. So there's definitely some guys, pitching wise, that we could target at the higher end. I like Scherzer. He's the highest price pitcher going against Atlanta. Scherzer's been a Cy Young candidate for about 4 or 5 years straight now. Definitely going to be one of the top plays on the slate. Then you got Noah Syndergaard going against a Miami team who's absolutely depleted. They got rid of all their pretty much good players. They're in a rebuilding phase right now. You got Verlander, a little bit less than those guys, but it could be a little bit more of a tougher matchup going against Minnesota, who has a bunch of hitters for sure. But nonetheless, Verlander, ever since being traded to Houston, he's been a Cy Young. He's been pitching, at a Cy Young candidate rate, and I definitely think he's going to be in that conversation this year. If we want to go down a little bit, you could look at a guy like Zach Godley going against the Giants in a pitcher stadium. Godley, he had a really good year last year. Started off this season with a solid outing, 37 fantasy points. So I like Godley for a little bit less. Also, you got Garrett Richards. For me, I probably would prefer Godley just because Richards is in Texas, which is a hitter's park. In Texas, they do have some bats. I know they started off slow this season, but they definitely have some good hitters, and they're lefty heavy. And, Garrett Richards is a right-hander. But nonetheless, he's a solid pitcher, so I definitely think you can look at him for GPP as well. Then, if we want to go down a little bit, GPP flyer only, okay? But I will look at this guy, Cody Reed, going against Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I understand. They do have some hitters, and they started off the season solid. Don't get me wrong. But this guy last year, Cody Reed, he pitched a couple really good games. He's the least priced pitcher on the slate. For him, if he gets you, we'll say 20 fantasy points at this price tag, you can load up on your bats, get you that Colorado exposure that you're definitely going to be looking for. So GPP flyer only, I definitely think you could look at him. Now we'll jump into our position players. You got Goldschmidt. The guy's been an MVP candidate the past couple years. He's going to be going against Derek Holland, a lefty. Goldschmidt, over his career, he's definitely hit lefties well, so I think he's a solid play. Then we got Eric Hosmer. For a guy that's going into Coors Field, he's definitely underpriced. I'm going against a righty. I understand it's John Gray, but hey, John Gray's human too. In Coors Field, we know the balls fly. I'm not going to really mention too many Colorado Rockies bats. Reason for, they're all in play. Plain and simple. You definitely always want to target batters in Coors Field. I don't want to waste your guys' time. You guys already know to play the Coors guys. Then we will go down a little bit. You got Joey Gallo. He's probably going to be batting in the 2 spot. He's bat there a couple times already this season. If not, he's going to bat in the 6 spot where he'll have some more RBI opportunities. The guy has double dong upside. He can steal a base occasionally. So I think he's a great play. Then I'm going to put 2 guys in the same category. You're going to hear this a lot. I like the St. Louis guys. I like the St. Louis guys a lot going against, I think, what's his name? Chasen. Chasen had a rough outing his first time. So I'm really liking the Cardinals bat. So I'm going to put him in the same category, but you can look at a guy like Jose Ramirez, the guy starting off the season solid, 312 batting average through what, 7-8 games. Also, Yadier Molina, he's starting the season off solid as well. So I'm going to kind of just bulk them together. Both of them are solid plays. It's going to kind of depend on where they're batting in the lineup to kind of see which one I prefer more. But both of them are solid. And if you want to get a cheap flyer, where is he at? Where is he at? Justin Bour, I mean, I understand he's going against Syndergaard. I understand that. But a lefty on righty matchup. Syndergaard throws hard. This guy hits fastballs well. I mean, he's absolute minimum price. He's probably a little bit more of a GPP flyer. I understand that, but he definitely has upside. So, I mean, for the very cheap, on the very cheap, I definitely think you could look at him. Second base, we got Jose Altuve, best second baseman in the league, MVP. Got an MVP last year. Is probably going to be in the running again this year. Hasn't had that hot start that people are looking for, but his numbers are going to come around. That's just what he does. He's a professional hitter. So I definitely think you could look at him. Then you got Brian Dozier. I mean, I know he's going against Verlander. It's not the best matchup. So for me, he's more just strictly GPP. But, I mean, he has stolen base upside. He has, home run upside. Verlander probably going to pitch 6 innings in this game. So he's definitely going to get a chance at the bullpen as well. So Dozier's a solid play. Then we'll go down a little bit. We'll look at a guy like Cozart. He's batting leadoff right in front of Mike Trout. So he's definitely getting pitches to hit in Texas, which is a hitter's park. I like Cozart. Solid play. Then we'll go with a guy like Merrifield. This dude, I mean, he hasn't had the best start to the season, but he's going to have a lefty-righty matchup going against this guy, Marco Gonzalez. I mean, Merrifield, I mean, he's fast. He steals bases. He hasn't had a home run yet. He does have home run upside. He's due for one. I definitely think it's coming. The price tag is very fair. I mean, he's probably a little bit more of a GPP play, but he's somebody I definitely think you could consider. If you want to go on the cheaper end, like I said, I like the Cardinals. You can look at Colton Wong, lefty-righty matchup. I mean, he hasn't had that breakout game yet to start the season. I definitely think he'll be in the lineup, though, in this game at bare minimum price, especially even if he gets to like 7th in the order or something at minimum price. I would definitely like that. So I definitely think he's somebody that you could keep an eye on. Third base, Arenado going against a lefty in Coors. I mean, it's a no-brainer, to be honest. It's just the problem is he's $1,100 more than any other third baseman. The price tag's up there because he's in Coors. So if you can fit him, put him in. If you can't, I understand, but he's definitely in a great spot. Then we got Donaldson. Donaldson, I mean, he's had a couple of really good game stretches. Recently, and I mean, he's swinging the bat well, so I definitely think that, he's a solid play going against Baltimore, which is a hitter's park. Then we'll go with Shaw, lefty-righty matchup, going against this guy, Mikolas. I mean, the guy got to win his first game, but he did get hit a little bit. And Shaw, I mean, he's a guy we know that definitely has upside. He's batting the cleanup spot in front of, right behind a bunch of really good batters. So he definitely has some RBI potential. Then we'll look at a guy like Carpenter, surprise. Another St. Louis Cardinal going against Chaseen. I definitely, think that Carpenter can have a really good game. I mean, he hasn't had the best, start to the season. But, I mean, he's one of their top 2 hitters on the team, if not their best hitter. So I definitely think you could go to that well. It's a buy low opportunity. One more guy who it doesn't make sense. He's just too cheap. Understand he hasn't had the best start, but Adrian Beltre, I mean, this dude's a professional hitter, batting cleanup, at home, in a hitter's park. Very, very good buy low opportunity. I definitely think that you could look at him. Now we'll go to shortstop. At shortstop, I'm going to start with Correa. I am liking some of these Houston bats as well. Going against Lance Lynn, who got blown up his first time around, his first start, of the season. So definitely like Correa. Then we got Segura. I mean, the guy stolen base upside, home run upside, going against a guy Jonas. I've never even heard of this guy. I mean, obviously he had a good first start, cool, but hey, I need to see more than one start to be scared to go against this guy. And Segura has had a really solid start to the season, starting off really hot. So I definitely think he's in play. Then we got Andrus, another Texas guy. Stolen base upside, power upside. I like Andrus. I do like some of these Texas bats. I like Garrett Richards as a pitcher as well. Don't get me wrong. And, Texas have been struggling. That's why I said I'm going to consider Richards as a GPP. But Texas has some really good hitters. And sooner or later, these guys are going to come around at home, like I said, in a hitter's park. I definitely think that, they could have a good game. Then we'll go down to DeJong, another St. Louis guy, starting the season off hot. Very fair price tag. So I'm going to be looking at him. If you want to get a little value in there, you can look at a guy like Ketel Marte, batting in the 2-hole, switch hitter, stolen base upside. He doesn't really have home run upside, but throughout the years, shortstop has been a spot in DFS we kind of pay down. I definitely think he's a guy that we could look at to pay down to kind of fit some of those quarterbacks in. Now we'll go to outfield. First I'll start off with Mike Trout. I really like Mike Trout in this matchup. Going against Doug Fister. Doug Fister is not somebody that impresses me in a hitter's park in Texas. I'm gonna group him with Justin Upton. I like Justin Upton as well. They play on the same team, so kind of why I'm just grouping them together. And then we'll go down a little bit. Then I'm gonna group some other guys together. You got Ozuna. You got Pham, and you got Dexter Fowler. Okay, all three St. Louis Cardinal outfielders are in play. Fowler's the cheapest, but the other two guys have started the season off hotter, even though Fowler has definitely come around a little bit more the past couple games. I mean, he's just still cheap. He's going to bat leadoff. It's a very buy low opportunity. I definitely like all three of these outfielders. And if you want to get some really cheap value, it absolutely doesn't make sense to me. You got these guys going into Coors Field, okay? In Coors Field. And these dudes' prices didn't even really move at all. They actually didn't. You got Renfroe. Okay, boom. Renfroe and Margot. Both of these guys are going to bat in the top 4 of the lineups of the Padres lineup, okay? And 2,200 in Coors Field, it just takes one swing in the ball and they can crush value. I mean, this is just ridiculous prices for these guys that are going to be batting in the top 4 of their lineup in Coors Field. I mean, this is just, I'm probably honestly going to have one of them. I mean, it is what it is. Margot, he's been batting leadoff, so I think I may be preferring him a little bit more. But the guy Renfroe, I played him a lot last year, and he has double dong upside. So I think he may have a little bit more upside than Margot. Either way, I like both of them. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this video. I kept it short. I kept it simple for you. There's some key spots we definitely want to look at. Before I jump into these core plays, though, please take a second, drop a like for me. It really helps me out. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on that notifications. This way, if I throw, some breaking news out there later in the day tomorrow, you guys don't miss out and you could keep up with me. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So, I'm going to start off with these picks. I really like Scherzer going against Atlanta. Atlanta's team, I don't really like going against Atlanta at home, but on the road, it's a team that I'll definitely be looking to pick on. Then we'll go with, I'm going to go with second, I'm going to go with second base. I'm going to go with a guy like Cozart. I'm really liking Cozart in this spot. Third base, I'm going to try to figure out a way to fit the dude in. It is what it is. I like Arenado a lot. Outfield, I'm going to get you this value. This way you can, fit in Arenado. So I'm going to go with Fowler. Fair price tag, bat and lead off. At my utility spot, I'm going to go the guy I told you, man. The guy's just too cheap. For a guy going into Coors Field, he's just way too cheap. So I'm going to go with Margot. This is something that I'm liking. Hopefully we can get one more value play. Really cheap to kind of even out our lineup. But, this is a solid quarter, a solid start to your day. You got the best pitcher on the slate. You got the best hitter in the best spot on the slate. Fill out the rest of the lineup. Just balance with some guys batting in the top 4 in solid matchups, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, hey, that's it. That's all I got for you on this MLB video. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Let's get this money. Peace out.